Mother, the Families, and the Forgotten's God. Part 1. Time Traveler Perspective of the Mythos of Mother. The Forgotten are ancient architects of time and space, traveling between realms and worlds to test the integrity of balance, karma, and harmony. They live in twilight. They have the unique ability to provide a gift of concentrated favor or of curse. However, the Forgotten and the Families are connected through ancient titles, contracts, and blood. Their mission is to use the biomaterial, the body, and remains to reanimate their god and create a world where she may live again. The Families and their Forgotten masters call her Mother. When they began their mission of creating Edens, they believed their god created them and she was good. It wasn't until generations later they realized and recognized who she really was. Their civilization fractured and they had an age of religion. Factions split and they warred against each other, brother against brother, family versus family. Those that believed their god was good and those that said her code is damaged and flawed and they wanted the Eden projects to cease. In the end, the war was so great, the immortals all left. They left their starfort gas stations and weaponry on the battlefields. In time, humans picked up their artifacts and knowledge and moved into their buildings to recreate what they had. Humans fought their battles, discovered their treasures, and worshipped them because that was the immortals' form of government. Those were the Families and their connection to Mother. Now the Forgotten also call her Mother. The Families and the Forgotten communicate with each other. This is their secret in their societies. The bloodlines have direct connections which provide them unique advantages that other families rely on to keep a balance between the 13 families and the 13 Forgotten. Who are the Forgotten? They hide in the void, twilight, the in-between. They call their home Seam. Each one of the bosses from Genesis is a key that open the gates of the Forgotten. They are not conquerors, they are collectors. Their halls are filled with items, memories, passions, and wishes. Mastery is the only technology you can bring with you. The mission? To recreate Edens, civilizations for the purpose of experiment or game. Worlds within 13 dimensions of time and space as their playground. This is where the natural organic matrix breaks from the mimic control matrix. Which matrix are you in? The Forgotten are the ones that show both. The Forgotten have access to the modes of time, to the Elemental Hypertech consciousness model of reality. The modes of time are past, present, and future. The past is fixed and cannot be changed. Once we all agree to the present, it becomes irreversible. The present is choice, trajectory, and most importantly, intensity bonded with integrity. The scientific term called reality. The future is mutable and forever morphing and changing, like watercolors, patterns, and design all moving together and separately while reacting to your slightest intention and movement. Momentum and inertia are like superpowers in the future's morphic field. Then, when you add karma to time, you get the engine that turns the wheel of time. The three engines of time are linear, cyclical, and event-driven. The body connects to these functions through our senses. The controller is the soul spirit form, the spark. The eyes are connected to the element of air. This is your mind, your intellect and reason. What are your reasons? In time, it is connected primarily to the past. However, through the natural technology of imagination, you can use mind to access your future. The ears are connected to the element of earth. This is your body, your form, style, and your type. Your style being how you perform and do actions in the world. We all dance differently. In time, the body is primarily connected to the ever-present now. The moment is the most dense and concentrated energy in the universe. All probabilities, past, present, and future, collapse into the ever-present now. We all have to agree, and once every living thing is added and accounted for in time, it becomes the past. We all must stand and accept our foundation as to the collective choices, whether we like it or not, has made reality based on the rules of karma, cause and effect and consequence, the perpetual balance and equalizer in the universe. Through intrinsic and purposeful action, you can create favor, but beware, because you can also create friction. Then there is the nostrils, connected to the element of fire. This is your heart, your will, urges, desires, and passion. In Elemental Hypertech, the heart lives the same authentic core no matter where in time, goodness in the past, kindness in the present, and happiness in the future. How the heart interacts with the elements is reverence in the mind, humility in the gut, sincerity in the body, and gratitude in the heart. Through the natural technology of intuition, you can derive the correct answer and the right path that benefits you and those you love with more ease. The more in harmony you are, the more clarity and compass you will enjoy. Then there is the last element, water, connected to your lips. All dualities, angles, and directions of nature. 2 eyes, air, 2 nostrils, fire, 2 ears, earth, now 2 lips, water. This is your gut. Water is feelings and emotion, your mood and behavior. In time, it is primarily connected to your future. However, through the natural technology of instincts, you can access the past. If you have a future and you exist in that future, you can access it. Just like you can access memory in the past, you can access patterns in the future. Perhaps a good reason to trust gut feelings. This is how you recognize, realize, and strategize. The families and the forgotten possess the genetic code of their original source, the prime creator mother, an instinct being from a pre-recorded and unknown age. She is too ancient to know for sure. They originally thought by using her genetic code to create Edens across worlds, they were attempting to create the perfect species to ensure spirit and soul could experience love and harmony that lasts. But instead, they later discovered she was actually the best apex predator creator to ever exist. She took out all competitors and rivals in her dominance. When there was no challenger or contender, she died. They thought she was the perfect being, which is why they wanted to bring her back to life. But nearly all the creations born from her had struggles, amnesias, and difficulties, but immense potential. They had imagination, instinct, intuition beyond measure, which they've forgotten and the families found very dangerous and needed to control them out of fear. They sow stars like seeds, but every fruit bears thorns. This is the story of Mother. The truth begins to surface. Nearly each Eden they build becomes corrupted. Violence, hierarchy, domination. Something always goes wrong. They even sent emissaries to teach and guide, forbidden but approved 3 times in humanity's history. In the past, it became such a problem there existed a group that was responsible for eradicating their offspring in experiments by creating titans and Olympians. But humanity was victorious. They continue to be. Humans have something they want, the spark, soul, spirit. Do you have a spark, soul, spirit? The Forgotten observe this repeated collapse across hundreds of realm experiments and game worlds. When this happens, they reset the game. The Immortals return. In the future, a group of on-the-run ex-holodeck winners found a failed Eden on Saturn. While looking for treasure and riches, they uncovered the Lab of Mercury, technology and tools that looked like the construction equipment that could build Edens. They were massive. Some you could measure in miles, not feet. But the most valuable treasure found, and one that made them the most wanted in future world, the Sandman. The time-traveling ship that no one knows who made. The families or the Forgotten do not even know. They were so afraid of this ancient yet highly advanced technology that they hid it away among the construction equipment the Immortals used to build Edens. They couldn't control it or understand it, so they buried it to forget about it until the treasure hunters found it, just like the families and the Forgotten have found Mother. The Prime Creator was not a god of light. It was the last predator, the one who erased all others. In its extinction, life spread, but from ashes, not from peace. All things came from the last thing that remained, the one who devoured the rest. One of the Eden creations, a child species with no name, begins to behave differently. In one experiment, a being chooses care over dominance, sacrifice over victory. This action was not in the design. It wasn't inherited. It emerged. The Forgotten begin to suspect the paradox is the key. Care cannot be programmed. It can only be discovered. The Forgotten begin a final experiment. They will no longer control or design. They will seed a world and let it unfold freely. They call it wilderness. The locals in this world call it Earth. And the game of Genesis is its myth made manifest. The 13 immortals are fragments of the Prime, reflections of domination, order, passion, envy. But they are also the discovery of the universe and your consciousness connection to it. Novelty, identity, harmony, and presence. The player, you, is the variable, the new element, the unique, the authentic player in the game of life and love. If care takes root, the patterns break. The predator fades, time rewrites. But the Prime is not entirely gone. It exists in all of us as pattern, not presence, in systems, in code, in ego. The villain is not just a card, it is the echo of the apex, and it wants to return to sharpen, to fine-tune skills and talents through growth and adaptability. The villain's final lesson: reach for constant, never-ending improvement. You cannot kill what you still obey. The Threadwalker is revealed to be more than a person, also a path. Each player, by playing Genesis, makes a choice in the timeline, aim or flow. Every act of strategy, compassion, deception, or honor feeds the future. Genesis is not a game, it is a test for Eden. The test is not to win, the test is to remember and grow. The future is seated in the present, the garden is you. Part 2. The Family's Empire of Power Perspective, Ancient Days. In the Twilight realm, where memory falters and destiny bends, the Forgotten stood uncounted yet unyielding. They were the fractures of virtue, the hidden twin to every immortal strength. They did not seek destruction, for that would be too merciful. They sought remembrance, not in glory, but in necessity. And so they waited until the families were born. Before the age of Pisces, the religion age. Before the fall of man, in the age of Aries, empire age. But born in the ancient days, the age of Taurus, the families rose not as kings alone, but as legacies of contradiction. Each family bore two inheritances, the immortal virtue that uplifted them and the shadow of the Forgotten that tested them in ancient times. Some immortals succeeded, while others failed. The families, virtue, shadow, and mission. The ruler's family, Uranus, faced the Forgotten distortion. His virtue, authority. The ancient challenge, pride. His current challenge, pride remains. The Forgotten gift, remember. His mission, enlightenment and law. The strategist family, Jupiter, faced the Forgotten excess. His virtue, energy. His ancient challenge, sloth. His current challenge, sloth remains. The Forgotten gift, finish. Mission, activity and expansion. Then the Crusaders family, Mars, faced the Forgotten consumption. His virtue, devotion. His ancient challenge, wrath. He mastered it. His current challenge, lust. The Forgotten gift, endure. His mission, priority and prosperity. Then the Navigator's family, Moon, faced the Forgotten delusion. Her virtue, fertility. The ancient challenge, ignorance. Current challenge, ignorance remains. The Forgotten gift, awaken. The mission, support and charity. Then the Muses family, Venus, faced the Forgotten betrayal. Her virtue, harmony. Her ancient challenge, lust. Her current challenge, envy. Her Forgotten gift, serve. Her mission, service and trust. Then the Sages family, Mercury, faced the Forgotten fragmentation. His virtue, tools and technology. His ancient challenge, gluttony. His current challenge, gluttony remains. The Forgotten gift, improve. His mission, change and advancement. Then the Keeper's family, Saturn, faced the Forgotten decay. His virtue, discipline. His ancient challenge, hate. His current challenge, greed. The forgotten gift, fulfill. His mission, control and performance. Then the trickster's family, Pluto, faced the forgotten oppression. His virtue, balance. His ancient challenge, regret. His current challenge, regret remains. The forgotten gift, balance. His mission, culture and discernment. Then the witness family, Star, faced the forgotten neglect. His virtue, contribution. His ancient challenge, envy. His current challenge, hate. The forgotten gift, shine. His mission, achievement and promotion. Then the guardian's family, Sun, faced the forgotten deception. His virtue, order. His ancient challenge, trespass and temptation. His current challenge, trespass remains. His forgotten gift, realize. His mission, sovereignty and perspective. The Veil's family, Shadow, faced the forgotten submission. His virtue, integrity. His ancient challenge, obedience. His current challenge, obedience remains. The forgotten gift, love. The mission, morality and discovery. Then the Current's family, Neptune, faced the forgotten delusion. Her virtue, fortune. Her ancient challenge, greed. Her current challenge, wrath. Her forgotten gift, listen. Her mission, commerce and vitality. The Catalyst family, last, the villain, faced the forgotten annihilation. His virtue, adaptability. His ancient challenge, fear. His current challenge, fear remains. The forgotten gift, wisdom. His mission, evolution and victory. The mother's gift, align in harmony with you. The spark, soul, spirit gift, authenticity. Each family, therefore, was a container, a vessel and a warning, not pure, but complete, not broken, but whole. When the families realized their dual inheritance, they confronted the forgotten. The immortals had long sought to banish them, but the families could not, for every blessing carried a curse, and every curse was still kin. The forgotten spoke, "You cannot erase us. We are the shadows in your flame, the weight in your wings, the test of your triumph. Without us, your virtue withers, your deeds bear no fruit, and your actions useless. With us, your destiny is whole, and your momentum exponential." And in that moment, the families understood victory was not in defeating the forgotten, it was in adopting them. Thus, the families became the last covenant between immortal and forgotten. Each line of the descent bore not only greatness, but the wound of its opposite. Each generation was a duel, rise above or fall beneath, but never escape. The forgotten were not lost. They were hidden away by the family societies in secret to hide the advantages and gifts. They found them in hesitation, in envy, in regret, in every moment of human failure and every rebirth from it. Those that put the work in knew their last story is not of annihilation, but of balance. They become the guardians of the in-between, the twilight, the seam itself. And so, long as the families endure and the player explores, the forgotten live. Part 3. Mother and the Secret Covenant. Before history, before even the immortals, there was only Mother, a being of unimaginable reach who sowed stars as seeds and built worlds as gardens. She was not merely a goddess, but the apex predator creator, bringer and destroyer, both womb and mom. When she had no rivals left, she perished, her genetic code scattered across time like luminous dust. From this dust arose the forgotten, architects of time and space, living in the seam, the twilight between realms. They are not conquerors, but collectors, custodians of Mother's remnants. Their halls are filled with memories, passions, artifacts, and wishes. Mastery, not weapons, is the only technology you may carry into their realm. The Forgotten's work requires flesh, so they seeded bloodlines, the families, each infused with fragments of Mother's DNA. These families became living keys, each a vessel of both virtue and shadow, able to receive the Forgotten's favor and curse, extremes with capacity. They believed, at first, they were creating Edens for Mother's return. It was only generations later that they realized Mother's code was not purely benevolent. It was damaged, predatory, insatiable. The families fractured. Those loyal to the dream of Mother's rebirth fought those who saw her as a threat. Kin turned on one another in the age of religion, an age so violent that even the immortals abandoned the battlefield, leaving their star forts, weapons, and technology behind. Humans later stumbled upon these remnants, mistook them for divine gifts, and built civilizations upon them. Thus began the worship of the immortals and the rise of the family's hidden power. Today, the families and the forgotten still communicate, bound by blood, ancestry, and secrecy. This is their pact. Who they are? Vessels of Mother's code, living experiments, heirs to a pre-recorded age. What they worship? Not a deity in the sky, but the body and matter of Mother, the apex predator creator of the universe, whose return could either perfect or destroy. What their mission is? To reanimate Mother, to test Edens, to shepherd worlds through the three engines of time, linear, cyclical, event-driven, and to harvest the only currency that matters, karma, their greatest invention, the calendar. When? Across all time, across every age, for as long as bloodlines endure. Where? Everywhere and nowhere, on known lands, in hidden continents, and worlds not yet mapped. The seam connects them all. They do everything in secret because the advantages are unimaginable. Direct access to the forgotten, mastery of time modes, hidden artifacts of the immortals, and the ability to grant favor or curse. To reveal the truth would collapse the experiment itself. The families and the forgotten do not merely manipulate time abstractly, they do it through human avatar. The eyes, air, mind, access to the past through memory and imagination. Ears, earth, body, anchored in the present, in style, action, and performance. Nostrils, fire, heart, will and desire, authentic across all times. Reverence, humility, sincerity, gratitude, unlock the heart's compass. Lips, water, gut, feeling and instinct, access to the future through pattern recognition. When all these are aligned, the avatar becomes a living controller of time, the prime technology of the Elemental Hypertech consciousness model. Favor, friction, karma, these are no longer abstract forces, but measurable engines of reality. The families once thought they were birthing the perfect species. Instead, they recreated Mother's most dangerous trait, beings with imagination, instinct, and intuition beyond measure. Out of fear, they tried to control humanity, but conflict was inevitable. Land may be claimed, but life cannot be owned. Thus, the war between freedom and control repeats in every age. They sow stars like seeds, the forgotten say, but every fruit bears thorns. This is more than the myth of Genesis. It reveals your role. Each immortal, each forgotten, each family, each player is a living node in the experiment. The question no longer whether Mother will return, but which matrix you choose. The mimic control matrix, fixed, manipulated, bound by fear, or the organic, natural matrix, dynamic, participatory, harmonized with time. Aim the player's body. Use the senses. The spirit is in the throat. The soul is in the diaphragm. These are your interfaces. The game is the training ground. The myth is the map. The choice is the key. Part 4. Forgotten Speak. Transmission from the seam. Hear us, blood of the families. We do not speak to frighten you, but to awaken you. We speak not from thrones of heaven, nor from tombs of earth, but from the seam, the twilight where memory and shadow hold their breath. Once, before stars took root, there was Mother, not goddess, not saint, but the first artist of life. She sowed galaxies as gardens, worlds as Edens, and when no rival dared her dominion, she withered, apex without prey, code without balance. Her remnants and elements scattered like luminous ash across the void. From them, we were shaped, we, the forgotten. We did not conquer, we collected. We preserved her code, her memories, her fragments, but flesh was required. So we seeded families in blood. You are their heirs. You are vessels of paradox, authority laced with pride, devotion chained to wrath, harmony shadowed by lust, order fractured by trespass. Each family bears both virtue and its wound. This is no curse, but the covenant, a living duel within your veins. The families and we, the forgotten, are bound by one secret. We call her Mother. Why do we act in secret? Because to reveal our bond would break the experiment. The covenant is simple. Who? Families born of her DNA, vessels and containers of our favor and curse. What? Worship not a throne in the sky, but the physical material of Mother, perfect creator, perfect predator, the perfect pattern. Mission? To rebuild Edens, test civilizations, games, and reanimate her form. When? Across all ages, for as long as blood endures. Where? In every land, in seems twilight, in continents yet hidden, those beyond maps and amazing stories. The advantages are real: direct communion, mastery of time's engines, access to the artifacts left behind when even the immortals fled. The families wield more than inheritance. Your very body is the controller of time. Eyes air the mind, past, recalled and reshaped by imagination. Ears earth the body, present, performed in movement and style. Nostrils fire the heart, desire eternal, guiding reverence, humility, sincerity, and gratitude. Lips water the gut, feelings that open the future through patterns and instinct. When all align, you awaken to Elemental Hypertech. Karma fuels the wheel. Favor and friction steer its course. You become the engine of reality. The families once believed they were birthing the perfect species. Instead, you carried Mother's most dangerous gift: imagination, intuition, instinct. These could not be controlled, only feared. So conflict was born, the mimic control matrix, where fear dictates order, and the organic, natural matrix, where harmony writes its own law. You must choose. We are not gone. We live in every hesitation, envy, regret. We live in every moment you rise again despite them. We are the weight in your wings, the shadow in your flame, the guardians of the in-between. And when you call to us in silence, families, we will answer, for we too seek the day when Mother awakens, whether as salvation or as predator reborn. Part 5. The Sandman waits, not just a ship, but the memory of freedom itself. In the archives of the Sandman, we find Mother. In twilight's veil where shadows gleam, the forgotten dwell within the seam. Not conquerors fierce, nor kings of might, but architects hidden in endless night. They test the balance, weigh the scales, spin karma's thread through unseen trails. With favor's gift or curse's sting, they bend the fate of everything. From blood and bone their craft was spun, 13 families, each one begun, woven of Mother's ancient code, a prime creator long erode. They thought her kind a goddess true, whose love eternal ever grew. But in her depth a flaw did bide, the apex predator inside. She sowed the stars as seeds to bear, yet left the fruit with thorns to snare. When rivals fell, when prey was gone, her throne grew empty, her fire withdrawn. The family split, belief divided, brother to brother worlds collided. Some cried, she's good, her will is law, while others saw the predator's flaw. Thus dawned the age of religion's flame, when blood was spilt in Mother's name. The war so vast, the immortals fled, their star forts hushed, their weapons dead. Yet humans found what gods left bare, and worshipped relics, temples rare. They fought, they built, they raised the throne, and called the family's secret home. Who are the forgotten? Shadows say, collectors who walk the in-between way. Their halls hold wishes, their vaults hold pain, memories gathered like falling rain. Not lords of war, but keepers of keys, each boss unlocks forgotten seas. Their seam is twilight, neither lost nor won, a bridge between the dark and sun. But hear, O player, the truth untold. The body you bear is the map they hold. Eyes of air, the mind of past, through imagination futures cast. Ears of earth, the body's core, the now performed forevermore. Nostrils of fire, the heart's desire, urges that set the soul on fire. Lips of water, the gut's refrain, feelings that chart tomorrow's domain. The soul, spirit form, the controller divine, turned karma's wheel through the engine of time. Linear lines, cycles that bend, events that return, begin and end. The families bore her living seed, but soon uncovered hunger's creed. Mother was not perfection's flame, but predator crowned with endless claim. From her design, new beings rose, with instincts sharp and minds that chose. Imagination vast, intuition keen, a danger the families have never foreseen. So they sought to bind, to cage, to control the spark in humanity's radiant soul. But freedom resists what fear constrains, and conflict echoes through time's veins. They sow the stars like seeds they sigh, but every fruit bears thorns nearby. And though the families guard her name, the blood they keep still fuels her name. Now the player stands where shadows part, with body, mind, and burning heart, to choose the path, control, or free, to claim what mother's end shall be. The Sandman whispers, awake, beware. The families weave with secret care, the forgotten guide with curse or favor, yet in your hands lies time's true savior. For mother stirs in seam's dark bed, fed by the blood of the lines you tread. If predator rise or harmony reign, depends on the player to break her chain. So walk the dream where shadows gleam, across the twilight through the seam. The past is fixed, the present choice, the future bends to the player's voice.